I knew that GPU 3 was at 61 before, so thermal paste must have helped. And the other GPUs are definitely better, that's for sure. Hey guys, what is up? RedPandaMining here. How you guys all doing? I hope you're all doing really well and having a really great day. In this video, I am going to change the thermal paste on an Asus GTX 1080 Ti Strix Edition card. And the reasons why I'm doing it is because my GPUs seem to be getting higher and higher in temperature. So you guys know my 1080 Ti rig here. I just built it maybe a month or so ago, 2 months ago. And it's an awesome rig. I love it. I got it used on Craigslist. The seller who sold it to me already had these cards for about a good year and a half, 2 years. And he used these for mining. But one of the things I noticed is that he probably didn't change the thermal paste on these as he was mining on them for about a good year and a half already, probably 2 years now. And the don't tamper stickers are still on the GPUs. Okay, so he didn't change the thermal paste. Yeah, so I noticed the temperatures on these 1080 Ti's getting up to about 65 to 70 Celsius on some algorithms like Ethereum mining or even Kapow. So I had to turn off the rig and evaluate what's going on. You know, normally I had the fan speed at 60, and then maybe a week or so ago I put it up to 80 fan speed, but it's still, the cards are still getting pretty hot. So I'm wondering if I need to change the thermal paste on these. I'm gonna try to change all the thermal paste on all the 6 GPUs for the 1080 Ti's. And you guys may notice the temperature in my mining farm here, it is 95 Celsius right now. So, I mean, it's not too bad, it's pretty bearable. The humidity is very low. 15% humidity, so it's really dry. I'm not too worried about humidity, and my GPUs aren't gonna rust or anything. So I'm gonna see if I can change the thermal paste on this rig first, and then if it does work, then I'm going to change the thermal paste on the rest of my rigs. Maybe not my Radeon 7s, I don't want to touch those as those are pretty new, but my 1063 gigabytes, my P104 rig, actually my P104 rig is really hot as well, up to 70 degrees. And then my RX 480 rig, actually I'm probably not going to touch these are below 60 degrees, so these are probably fine. But definitely this rig and my 1063 gigabyte rig, I may need to change the thermal paste. But I do want to try it on this first. Okay, so let's get started, guys. I have to take out 6 screws, I believe. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order to take off the GPU cooler on this 1080 Ti. So I'm going to do that right now. I just wanted to show you guys quickly my P104 rig. It's at about 69 degrees Celsius on one of the GPUs at 80% fan speed. So this is similar to what my 1080 Ti's were also showing as well. And yeah, I think average my GPUs for my P104s are up to 67, almost 70 degrees at 80% fan speed. So mining Ethereum Classic. So that's just to give you guys some context. All right, let me go ahead and start taking the screws out of here. Okay, here we go. Taking out the first screw. I'm gonna just loosen them all up a bit first. This one as well. Now the don't temper sticker, I'm gonna try to peel this off. Alright, not the best, but it's most of it is off. I'm gonna loosen all the other screws as well. Alright, all the 6 screws are off, and I simply should be able to just lift it up. I may have to jolt it a little bit so the thermal paste unchecks. Let's see here. Ah, there we go. Okay. Alright. Alright, that came off easy. Let's see here. Alright, I'm gonna put the GPU like so. And you guys can see. Oh my goodness, there looks like there was not any thermal paste on this GPU die. That looks to be not a lot of thermal paste. Or it may have dried up. Oh man, that's really not good. That is not good at all. Okay, guys, I'm gonna clean up the thermal paste with just some tissues, and I have some of these Q-tips here just to get the excess dried thermal paste off. And I'm gonna use good old Arctic Silver 5. I've used this thermal paste since like 2009, ever since I was building computers and putting in CPUs and GPUs and stuff. I've always used this thermal paste. It is tried and true, one of the best thermal pastes in my opinion for GPUs even, okay? So let me go ahead and I'm gonna clean this up off camera. Let's do that right now. Alrighty, I cleaned it up the best I could, at least on the GPU die itself. Looks to be pretty clean, and the heatsink as well. Look how shiny that is. You can see the reflection on the heatsink itself, so that's pretty good. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the thermal paste. Okay, so I always do basically like a rice size amount on the middle of the GPU die. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and put the cooler back on. Oh man, hard to do this while recording and holding this at the same time. I'm gonna put the camera down. Alright, I got all the screws in, and I just wanted to have a disclaimer for everyone. I am not an expert in doing GPU thermal paste or cleaning up GPUs or anything. I did try to get all the dust off that was inside and clean it up as best I could. I record this as documenting my journey, and this is for fun, so you guys make sure don't take any advice from me. I'm doing this on my own way, okay? So yeah, that's just what I'm doing. Alright guys, time to do it 5 more times. I'm gonna do this off camera, and then we will test to see what the GPU temperatures are gonna be on my 1080 Ti's after, alright? And hopefully I don't brick any. Let's go. Second GPU, and the thermal paste is also dry and just caked. Look at that, look at this. So bad. Oh man, good thing I'm changing a thermal paste. I think this will really help. Alright, let me clean it up. Alright, I'm gonna put the second one back in and take out the third one. I can't believe it. ASUS is terrible. ASUS is just terrible. Look at that thermal paste. It's barely on there. And look at that, guys. Look at that, how much is on the heatsink here. And you guys can see from like the glare, there's like barely any on this GPU die. Oh my god, it's just like also dried up and caked, obviously due to mining. Alright, third one's done. I'm gonna put this in, and I'm actually going to put this rig back on the shelf, and we are gonna see if the 3 cards, which I've just changed the thermal paste in, see if there's gonna be a temperature difference from the other 3, which I have not changed yet, alright? So I'm gonna put this back in, put it on the shelf, and then we'll see what kind of temperatures we get. Let's go. Alright, cables are plugged in. Let's turn these guys on. Any smoke? Smell test. Let me remote into the rig. Alright, we can see all the 6 1080 Ti's. Let me get it mining and we'll see the temperatures. Okay, I just want to show you guys the overclocks first. I have 70 power limit, plus 150 core, plus 500 memory, and 80% fan. And you guys can see, let's see here first. The first GPU looks like 61 degrees Celsius, 54, 57, 54, 54, and 52. So I'm going to assume maybe the last 3 here, 54, 54, and 52, are the ones that I changed the thermal paste on. This is definitely better than before, but I just started this rig. Okay, so it's only been 2 minutes. 62 is definitely not that. 55 and 58C. Okay, so I'm guessing the first 3 GPUs here are the ones that I didn't change. It's the last 3. And the 3 GPUs I did change, GPU 4, 5, and 6, it looks like 55C, 55C, and 53, 52C. I'm gonna let this run for another 10 minutes and we'll see what temperatures they are. Okay, it's been about 13 minutes, and the first GPU is 65 degrees Celsius, 58 degrees Celsius on the second, 61 on the third, 58 on the fourth, 57 on the 5th, and 54 degrees on the 6th GPU. So it looks like these last 3, 58C, 57, and 54 degrees Celsius, are the GPUs that I just changed. And the other 3, definitely, I think they need to be changed as well. So I'm gonna go ahead, turn this rig off now. We have a mental note of the temperatures. The biggest one to take note is the 65 degrees Celsius on the first GPU. Okay, so we'll see if that 65 will turn under 60 degrees Celsius for this rig. All right, so I'm gonna shut her down and let's replace the thermal paste. All right, looks like it's off, and I think some fans need to be replaced as well. Yeah, I have a fan here. Actually, I took out a couple weeks ago. It was making loud noises, so I'll have a video about that when my AliExpress fans come in. I don't think they're gonna come in for a while because of the whole COVID-19 thing. All right, the rig is shut down, and I'm gonna bring this to the floor, and we're gonna take out these 3 GPUs to change the thermal paste, and then we're gonna put it back in and see what temperatures we get. Okay, the 4th one is done. Change the thermal paste. Now on to the 5th one. Let's see how dry this 5th GPU is. Yeah, this one is very dry. So caked on there. All the thermal paste on these 1080 Ti's are pretty bad. That's just crazy. Okay, 5th GPU's done. You guys may notice the fan is gone. I told you before. I've ordered some fans, and actually there's a couple fans broken, but that'll be for another video. Maybe this one is the one that's 65 degrees Celsius, as there's no fan on this one. So we'll see. Okay, one more GPU, the final 6th one. Let me change the thermal paste on that real quick. There's barely no thermal paste on the die. You guys can see that? Just brutal. Look at that. Terrible, terrible. Okay. No 1080 Ti's are bricked. They all show up in Device Manager. And let's go ahead and see what we can mine on Ethereum Classic. And you guys know my overclocks here. So I'm gonna let this run for a couple minutes and we'll see what temperatures we're at. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes. The first GPU is 61 degrees Celsius. Second one's 56 degrees. Third one's 56 degrees. Fourth one is 57. Fifth one is 56, and 6th and final one is 55 degrees Celsius. After 3 minutes, I think that's pretty good so far. I'm gonna let this run for another 10 minutes, just like before, and we'll see what the temperatures are. Okay, so after about 14 minutes, it looks like we have dropped about 1 degree on the first GPU from 65 to 64 degrees after 4 minutes. But the noticeable ones are GPU number 2, it looks like 59 degrees. GPU 3 is at 58. I knew that GPU 3 was at 61 before, so thermal paste must have helped. And the other GPUs are definitely better, that's for sure. So GPU 4 is 59 degrees, 58 for the 5th one, and 57 for the last one. So there we go. It looks like the thermal paste definitely helped for most of the GPUs. Maybe not so for the first one, which is 64 degrees. It used to be 65, and maybe that's the one with the missing fan there that I have to replace. But the other GPUs are all, looks like, under 60 degrees Celsius, 58, 59, 58, and 57. I am happy about that for sure. I know most of them were over 65 or 63 degrees, and now they're all below 60 degrees at 15 minutes here. So that's pretty good. So guys, I am happy about that. I think that was a general success. And I am going to have another video once I have the fans. I'm going to replace some fans on some of these 1080 Ti's. And yeah, hopefully that should help, hopefully, with cooling the rig. And I know that summer is coming, so I may have to maybe undervolt all my GPUs even more to lower the temperatures on these cards so that they don't go over 60 or 65 degrees at least. I don't really like running past that, or 70 degrees. I think that's too high for my taste. And but let me know what some of you guys done, and if GPU thermal paste has helped lower the temperatures on your GPUs. I think this was a fun little thing to do in this video, hopefully entertaining for you guys. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, okay? So thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and peace out.